Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Two Moms and Some Labels. Two Moms and Some Labels is a platform for parents and caregivers caring for a child or an adult with disabilities to come together in a shared space to network, commune, and just share and gain ideas on how to persevere through challenging times. My name is Brittany.
I'm Nicole.
And on this episode, we are just going to catch up. We're going to catch up. We're going to talk about summer, just a lot of different things that have been going on with the both of us, and just some things that are out there available for the summer. So we want to get you summer ready and, see to what plans that you may have for the summer or any ideas that you may have. So when you watch this, make sure that you comment and put some replies in there about some summer camps or any other programs or activities that you may like to do with your family or your child with special needs. So, we can all try it out or maybe give advice to some other family. Um, but I guess I will start it off as far as,
Yes.
just catching up and
How have you
everything.
been?
Yeah. So, school is about to be out. Well, I think today may have been the last day for one of my kids, but um, school is about to be out. So trying to figure out the summer. We got a couple of things going on like medically, and surprisingly, it's not with Ayana. It's with one
Oh,
of my other children. So we gotta get some things done over the summer and prepare for that. Um, and so we didn't really get to plan too many like trips to go too many places since we're dealing with some medical things on that end. So we're just going to look forward to doing some stuff locally.
okay.
Spending some time with the kids, spending time with them individually, and just checking on them, seeing how they're doing, how they're feeling, just taking a mental break from everything. And over the summer, I told my oldest son, I was like, we're going to start reading as a family together because we need to do more reading. So I want to do more reading, start encouraging my little one also to read, and that reading is good to
Mm.
do. So we're going to do 30 minutes every day of quiet reading time. And so, yeah, even I'm going to give my 2-year-old a book to read, even though he can't read. I'm going to give him a book so, he can explore the book and stuff like that. But we're going to take that time to do that to increase our reading skills and comprehension and things like that over the summer, and working on some math. And then for Ayana, we're probably going to try to go, I don't know, maybe get in the water here
Okay.
at the pool or something, or in the backyard. I brought like the little blow up pools. So, could sit her out there in the pool so she can be able to enjoy some sun, because it's so hard to actually take her to the pool. And
Okay.
a lot of pools, they don't have the lift, or even if they do have the lift, like I don't feel all that comfortable taking her by myself and picking her up, putting her on
Right.
the lift, like in around water and stuff. I'm like, if I slip and fall or something like that,
Right.
and she's gotten so heavy, so I don't want to take the chance with that. And then I know they have the beach chairs at Jack's Beach that
Mhm.
can go on out into the sand, but I don't think that they're really all that handicap uh,
Accessible.
friendly. Yeah, because I think it might be more for like somebody, maybe they broke their foot or something and they need
Mhm.
to wheel out, or somebody that's able to really support their upper body.
Right. I think it's
And
more for like seniors, maybe too.
yeah, and so since she doesn't have that trunk control and the head control, it's not really ideal for us to use those beach
Okay.
chairs like that. And I think most of the beaches that they do have little tracks where you can like wheelchair on are down in southern Florida, like in Panama City Beach
Okay.
and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. Um,
Gotcha.
they have places like that down there,
Okay.
to be able to get the wheelchairs out there. So we're just gonna chill and find some things to do around the house, around the neighborhood for the
Okay.
summer. I think that's what we're gonna do since I'll still be working also. So
Mhm. Yeah,
what do
that's
y'all
why I
have?
laugh when people be like, "Oh, it's summer," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still gonna be working, but okay, it's
Yeah.
summer." This summer we are pretty much gonna be in the hospital. Um, so Lorenzo will be like inpatient for about 3 to 4 weeks, and then I didn't even know. When we met with the ENT doctor, she explained more to us. So he'll be inpatient, and then also we'll have to follow up 2 weeks back in the OR, then 4 weeks back in the OR, 6 weeks, and then so we'll keep so this the rest of this year we're pretty much going to be the first time it's going to be 3 to 4 weeks, and then after that it's going to be overnight stays, if that. But so before then, since I'll be out of work, I'm gonna be working as many hours as I can before I leave. So I'm gonna try to take him out of town, a little bit. Lorenzo's such a simple kid, just beat up under mommy, he's fine. So just little things, but that's what the big plan. Like I'm getting his hospital clothes together. Because he'll be completely in a induced coma for
Oh,
like a week and a half, and then we'll go ahead and start trying to get him out of that, and then he'll need like some heavy duty therapy because his muscles will be so weak. So we'll do that.
man, that's a lot. You know, as parents of medically complex children, you know, those are some tough things that we have to deal with. And you know, that's also why we have this platform to provide support and
Mhm.
ideas and suggestions. So, you know, I know that's just kind of scary to even think about. Are you like mentally preparing for that?
Um, so I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very excited. And nervous because it's just a lot of moving parts. So I'm just trying to make sure everything is, in place for where it needs to be. Follow up appointments are scheduled, pre ops are scheduled. Just, everything supplies. Because when you have a long hospital stay, the insurance feels like it's getting billed twice. So just making sure all those things are in place because even the hospital doesn't have a lot of the
Mhm.
supplies we need. Yes, they have the trach tie. Well, I guess we won't need trach ties anymore. So I don't know. But making sure we have the extensions, syringes, the right connections to feed in pumps and stuff like that. Because right now we do bolus feeds. So when he's in the hospital, um, since his
Everything.
gut with the cone will be slowed down, just want to make sure all that's taken care of. And then so this will be our third time where he's been kind of like heavy sedated induced coma.
Wow.
So just coming out of it, I always know like getting him back up to his feet and getting his gut to work. It takes a while, so I'm just like with all this anesthesia back, constantly and stuff, just making sure that he's good and healthy. So I'm making sure, getting him a couple of extra pounds on him now. Um, he's not in physical therapy right now, so trying to make sure we have the authorization for when he gets discharged, he can go ahead and get a couple of sessions in. So just all those moving parts still while working full time and
Yeah.
I'm in school. So I'm just like, okay, as long as I keep my list going and I just cross things out. I'm very a list person, as you see. I have my
Yeah, sticky
there we go.
notes.
Yeah, in the back, and I just everything. I just make sure I'm a visual person, make sure I have it, I can see it, his appointments, his specialists, whatever needs to be done. Because you came out with a planner,
Yeah. Yeah. I have the medical planner, and I mean, I
and
want
that's
to do some.
available on Amazon, right?
Yeah. So it's available on there, and you can keep everything in there, your appointments, your hospital stays, your surgeries, feeding
Oh,
schedule, just, like all that stuff that we have to deal with as medically complex parents. And then I put like little quotes every day
that's
for
nice.
parents to have there to just give some motivation and positivity to keep moving forward. And I would just want to say too, with you, getting prepared for the hospital and stuff like that. Me and my significant other, we went on a cruise last month. We went on a cruise for the second time, but it's been like 5 or 6 years since we have been able to go on another like trip where we got to spend time away
Right,
without the
right,
kids, since it's so difficult to
right.
be able to do that. And my mom, thankfully, she was able to watch the kids for us, and I made her some little bags to have for every day that we were gone.
That's
And
good.
I bought those, the garment bags that you can put in
Uh-huh.
the laundry.
Right.
So I bought those little garment bags that are like mesh nets,
Uh-huh.
and I just wrote like the day of the week on each bag, and then inside of it I put like all her formula. She takes two different formulas, one in
Okay.
the day, one at night. So I put all the formula in there. I put her feeding bag. Um, and then I put like her medicine in a separate little um, storage containers, and I labeled those with like the dates for all her medicine. So every day, all the bags were prepared. Her medicine was all prepared for every day that we were gone. So, she just had to get the little storage container with the right date on it, and it had the instructions and how much each syringe had in it,
Good.
when it's supposed to be given. So I did that.
That's
I made
good.
a little video, and I'm so bad about social media. I have so
Oh yeah,
many
you gotta post
videos.
that. Post
Yeah.
that. Yeah, share. Because I'm sure other parents, like my biggest thing, I always think about is, God forbid if I ever have to go in the hospital. Can
Yeah.
someone just come in and step in and know where everything is and
Yeah.
have it enough organized where at least someone can figure it out? So even in the kitchen, I have the cube things, and I
Uh-huh.
have them labeled. I have little baskets and I'm labeled the day of the week. So it has like his syringe, his extension, his formula for the day, his pudding for the day, his pouches for the day. So if someone can just come in, and I restock it every Sunday. And I try to keep things as in his room,
Yeah.
as organized as possible. But yeah, that's a good idea as well with the garment bags, because you
Yeah,
just want to make sure
that's
everything.
a good idea too.
Yeah, I just
For sure.
I label everything, and he does have a dresser, but I'm a big cube storage person in
Mhm.
his room because it's easy accessible, um and visually you can see everything.
Yeah. And I mean, that's something that I'm pretty sure a lot of us don't think about because we're just so used to,
Mm.
it's like uniform, doing everything, getting everything prepared. So we don't think about like, what if something happens to us? And, what if we're not able to do this? Something comes up, and having things prepared and ready, especially if you are, a single parent, you don't have somebody else
Mhm.
at home to help you with those things. I think that's a really good idea to have that stuff in place so somebody
Yes.
can come in and understand, what's going on and pick up kind of where you left off at. So that's
Right, that's
definitely
so important. And it's a lot of times we don't want to think about it, but
Yeah.
Because we're just like, oh, we're super mom. We're going to be fine. But you never know when you might just need a day of rest or have to leave town real quick because of an emergency or just anything like that. Like I tell people, it's different when you have a special needs child. You can't just say, hey, I got to go real quick. Here you go. Can you watch my child? You have to make sure the person's good. And then, like you did with your mom, you have to make sure they have everything needed. It's not just, oh, here's a couple of days of clothes. No,
Mm.
you need like diapers. Well, no, not for her size. You can't go to Walmart or
Right.
anything like that.
Yeah.
But you can't go get syringes, feed in bags from your local store. Even traveling with our kids, you have to make sure
Mhm.
you have everything. Like, people don't understand when I say I make a list, check it twice, make another list just to make sure you have everything. Because there's no like, oh, I forgot it. I'm gonna run to Walmart.
Right.
No, you're not running to Walmart for this.
Yeah.
So yeah, so important. But I'm
Yeah.
excited for summer. I am. We have one more week of school left. Next week will be our last week of school. They're
Mhm.
making sure we come get those kids 12 o'clock Friday, and they're like, bye. So they're having fun next week, and I'm excited for summer.
Yeah. I feel like too also like summer is kind of touchy for me and I don't like I'm not all excited all the time about summer just because you know families are like, "Oh yeah, summer we're going here, we're going there for vacation and we're doing this and that and
Mhm.
the kids are doing X, Y, and Z." And for me, it's a different story. For us, it's a different story. Summer looks different for each and every one of us. And for me, it's kind of like, oh, yeah, it's summer, but I'm ready for it to come, but I'm also ready for it to be done with because, like, with Ayana, since she has quadriplegic cerebral palsy, there's no summer camps that I can send her to. So, it's not like she can go out and enjoy time away at a summer camp. And then traveling is so difficult because you got to worry about, if you're traveling on the road, is there a place for me to change her? Or I'll have to like take her out of her wheelchair and lay her on the floor in the car and try to change her that way. Just like carrying all her food and stuff. And we've never been on a plane. So even thinking about taking a plane and dealing with
Excuse me.
formulas, bringing that on the plane and her wheelchair and stuff. And if we do decide to like go to a place, we have to make sure, okay, well, is it wheelchair friendly? What will they have that she's able to do or where her, wheelchair can fit in. So, summer's not all that glamorous for us. And I would though eventually like to start looking more into places that I can travel to with her that are wheelchair friendly so that we can be able to travel and get out of Jacksonville as a
Right.
family together and do things and not make ourselves confined because of
Mhm.
her condition. But also, we have to be realistic and make
Right.
sure that, it's accessible for her. So, I've been trying to join some groups and look at some of those like travel planners that they supposedly plan trips for families that have children with special needs. And then, like the Family Cafe is coming up next month. So a lot of families are going there. And I know one year I met this lady that was in a wheelchair and she was a travel planner and she like
Okay.
had all these places and different tools and accessories that you can buy or use when you're on the airplane to make it a little bit easier when
Oh,
you're
nice.
in a wheelchair and stuff like that. But I gotta find her information again.
Yeah,
So,
that's nice.
I think
Mhm.
that would come in handy. So one day I will look into seeing how we can be able to travel more, even though, she has some restrictions, but
Right.
um, we're gonna look into that and see what we can do.
And see, I guess too, with looking at it different, with having just Lorenzo, and he's not aware what other kids are doing for the summer.
Mhm.
So I can kind of mask it.
Yeah.
But, you have two other kids that hear what so I'm sure
Yeah.
that's even harder to be like, no, we're not going to be able to go right now because,
Mhm.
so yeah, I think looking for local places. And like you said, it's so crazy how there's a lot of people with, you know, a person in their family with a disability.
Mhm.
And something as simple as, well, you would think as simple as maybe from Jacksonville driving to Savannah or
Right.
Orlando, you know, but yet and still it can be one of the most stressful things. Like,
Oh, yeah.
there are no weekend just, oh, let's hop in the car and go here. No, everything has to be planned, and then you have to hope and pray she doesn't get exposed to anything. And then a simple 2-hour car ride can end up being 5 to 6 hours, and then you got your other kids, and then you don't want her to be agitated either. You want her to enjoy herself.
Yeah.
um I think that's the hard part that people don't realize. Like, they're like, "Oh, well, you can just go here. It's right up the road." Well, right up the road for you is not right up the road for me. It's
Right.
a big thing, and we can't just pull over and say, "Oh, let's get a Happy Meal for the kids." No, we got to pull over, get the formula together, get everything situated. And then after you feed, you gotta we're coming into the part because Lorenzo's not really potty trained, and it's a struggle being out. And he's a boy, so it's a little easier, and he's still small enough where I can just lay him down on the front seat, I mean back seat, real easy.
Yeah.
He's still at that age. But I just hope that within time places really realize, how many families are impacted and feel like they can't go places due to not having somewhere safe and clean to change
Yeah.
your child. That's the thing too, clean to
Yeah.
change your child. Wheelchair friendly, sensory friendly.
Mhm.
A lot of the places people are like, oh, you can go. Like, I had a lady say, oh, Lorenzo will love Wild Adventures. Really? No, you won't. That's too much. That's overload. That is that's sensory overload, ma'am. You're gonna have me stressed out. We can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I'm like, even with family, and they're like, "Oh, come and visit, come visit us," and stuff like that. But most of the time, it ends up being like, okay, somebody's going to have to get left behind, or I'm going to have to just make this trip on my own because we don't have care or it's not an accessible place. Um, so just
Hmm.
like, I'm like, one of my family members wants me to come visit in Charleston, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting stressed. I'm like, how can I want to take everybody because I want them to, see the family and spend time with them and
Hmm.
stuff like that. But I'm like, the traveling there, but I also want to be able to go and do little things out in the community and stuff. But it's
Right.
more of like a historic place, especially going like closer to Savannah and stuff. So I'm like, when it's more historic, it's really not wheelchair accessible because they haven't modified anything because they try to keep it in
Right.
historic time. That's what makes it historic. So a lot of times it's real small, or they got small steps, or it's really small to get into the entrance of buildings and stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, I might just have to take a trip on my own, and I really, want to take the kids, but so
Right.
I'm here, trying to, it's a juggling act. And
And even if you do go and be like, you don't want to leave her out and be like, oh, well, someone
Yeah,
stay at the house with her and stuff like that. And then whoever stays at the house with her has to make sure they know how to care for her, you know?
yeah. But and besides that, then they have to miss out also because, you know,
Right.
she has to be cared for. I know that also too. I've seen on some groups that some people they carry a portable massage table with them to change their child on, so that they don't have to worry about if there's a changing place or not. And in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like one more big piece of
Right.
equipment
I'm like, well, where
put
do you set it
back
up at? In
in
the
the
middle
car.
of the parking lot?
And I don't know.
That's like, it's sad that you have to, man, that's, oh my God. I just want people to understand, make
Yeah.
changes, because having to have a wheelchair, carry a changing table, other equipment that's needed, and then like, where are you going to set the changing table up at? I
Mhm.
mean, it's just so much when you think about it, and it's like you want it to be want you want a change. And then I think if more special needs parents speak out, I just think so many just, to be honest, have just given up,
Mhm.
and they just stay sheltered with their child because it's a process. I
Yeah.
mean, I know I met one mom at Lorenzo's former daycare, and the struggle she had to go through just to get her apartment complex to put, she won legally, she sued them, but to put a handicap parking space by her door.
Mm.
um I had to go through with my condo association. I had to go through so much to get a handicap sticker. Like, it's just so much that, and we're not asking for a lot. We're just
Yeah.
asking for our kids to be accepted and be able to enjoy the different things out there in society. It's,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
hope you guys do are able to find some places and travel, and
Yeah.
she gets to be able to enjoy with her brothers and stuff.
Yeah. And so, for those that are able to take their children to do things, or your children are more, independent on their own and can and more functional, there are some summer camps out there. There's actually a lot of different summer camps. I'm sure that they probably have filled up pretty
Right.
quickly. They might have some space. So I'm going to tell you about a couple summer camps, and you can reach out to them and see if they have any space available. There's no guarantee, because we are on the cusp of
Mhm.
summer. And so these camps usually open up like what, like 2 months ago. They probably opened up about a month or so ago, to start filling those
Right.
spaces so that the places can prepare for,
Mhm.
however many kids that they may have. But let's see. So, of course, there's summer camps all over. So make sure you check your area wherever you may live. If you're not local to Jacksonville or Northeast Florida, just check your local area. Check on the websites, Google. If you have the Agency for Persons with Disabilities, see if they maybe have any resources for you in your area about places that cater to families that have children or adults with disabilities. Um, just reach out and see what is available in your area. But as far as here in Northeast Florida, there's a couple altogether wellness. That is for ages 2 to 6 years old, and
Oh,
they're on Beach Boulevard. They're having a summer camp, and
wow.
Beach Pathways of St. John's and Soundwave Music Therapy. They are putting together a music camp.
Oh,
So
cool.
interested yet in that, reach out to them. And then Hope Haven, they always have summer camp available. Florida Institute for Community Inclusion, they have virtual summer camp
Oh,
sessions
wow.
available. I think they do cooking lessons or something like that. But they have virtual available and in person, but it's not here in the in person is not locally. So, but virtual is available. And then the Down Syndrome Association of Jacksonville, they have summer camp available. Possibilities Plus does, and Down Syndrome Association of Jacksonville and Possibilities Plus, they're more focused on career camps for the summer.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you have older kids slash adults that are able to go out into the workforce, then they're trying to help prepare them, increase their skills as
Oh,
far as
nice.
working goes. And Angelwood, they have a summer camp, and they actually are allowing siblings of
Wow.
those with disabilities to come to the camp as well. Um, and then they are offering one-on-one support, but it's an additional cost for the
Okay.
one-on-one support. And they did say on their website that they are able to um, have children that have all abilities come. So if they have feeding or mobility issues or toileting needs, they welcome everybody. So I think that's where that one-on-one support comes in.
Okay, right.
That is that additional fee that they charge. And then Henderson Haven, they always have a wonderful summer camp. So I'm not sure if
Okay.
they're full. Um, but again, check on that. And then the Therapeutic Learning Center in St. Augustine, they have a summer camp available. North Florida School and Ability Tree First Coast have a
Okay.
summer camp. So these are all different places that have summer camps available. I did get this information from Bright Feet. So if you go onto Bright Feet's website, then you're able to go on there and look at the beautiful pamphlet that they have about summer camps available as well. So lots of summer camps going on, and hopefully it's not too late to get your kid into one if you are still
Mhm.
looking for a summer camp. Um,
Awesome.
yeah. And then
Awesome.
just speaking of summer camp and school ending, coming to an end and things like that, I'm sure that a lot of families have heard about possible school closures and things like that. A lot of stuff is going on with our school board and the public school system. So I just encourage you to, do the best that you can. Don't try to stress, try to enjoy your summer, but also stay informed and educated about what's going on in your area with your school if they are one of those schools that could possibly be closing down or changes being made, and make sure that you contact your school board officials, your state legislators. Contact them, write them, email them, call, and let them know your concerns and how that would affect you and your family, if they close down those schools or make any additional changes, especially with the teacher and staffing layoffs that they also have coming forth as well. Just I
Right.
encourage you to write, call if you can, to your state legislators and the school board officials.
And your voice matters. Your voice
Yeah.
matters.
And
Yeah.
then I know you wanted to talk about some insurance stuff.
Yes. So here in Northeast Florida, many, as you guys know, probably go to Nemours for to see a lot of your specialists, and letters were sent out. So Nemours is not going to be taking United Healthcare anymore, commercial or Medicaid. They're in negotiations. I'm not going to say they're not taking them, but they're in negotiations. So you can go to Nemours website and check out continuation of care, and get on that right now because you have to actually apply for continuation of care. Um, it's unfortunate, but I just feel like we'll be seeing a lot more of places not taking insurance. And I will be frank with it. I didn't think it was going to be hit with the commercial side. That honestly surprised me. but I knew some things were changing where a lot of offices were no longer going to be taking United Healthcare Medicaid, but I honestly never thought it would have been the Moors. Like I just because they help so many families. They're the specialists in town.
Mhm.
Um, so just stay aware. Don't be like me and don't check your mail. Check your mail. The letters come in the mail, and reach out to your the specialist, even if you can't, because Nemours is booking so far out. I mean, everything is just so far out. Just make sure you reach out to them, get your prescriptions filled, get your you can get like a 90-day supply of your prescriptions. Just really make sure you have a plan of what needs to be done. Cause like we got to keep our babies with insurance, and we take pride in sitting there picking out this insurance, picking out that. I remember, at one point Lorenzo had United Healthcare. At one point he had Stay Well. Right now his Medicaid plan is CMS. That's his secondary insurance. And I remember one point his primary care doctor stopped taking, I believe at one point they weren't taking Stay Well or Sunshine. Um, so it's just you pick that plan, and then you kind of have to wait till open enrollment to make a change. And if it's through your employer, if they don't change it the next year, you're still going to have that plan. So just do your research, get your continuation of care plan together, and then start building connections, with other specialists in town. Um, it's gonna make it. I get it. It's gonna make it more difficult because No More's was that one stop shop. You can go in there, see 2 to 3 specialists a day. Now you'll have to go bounce around town, and as we all know, establishing care with a new provider is so hard, especially when you have a child with complexes. It's different when you're just, and I'm not knocking anyone, but when you're just finding allergist specialist. That's a little different than when you're, getting a new GI, getting new nutrition, a pulmonologist, a neurologist, the ones who know your child, understand your child, and have grown to understand you as a parent and your expectations. You
Mhm.
know, there's a lot of which we all know there's a lot of pediatric doctors that are in the field, but they don't really know too much about complex kids. So that's when you start having the difficulties as well. You got to have a doctor that is okay with reaching out to pulmonology or reaching out to another specialist to put their heads together to maybe come up with why is this going on. Your neurologist might need to get with your gastro and your nutrition doctor if your child is having seizures and maybe the formula is in, like, everyone just
Yeah.
has to be on the same page, and that's so hard when you have specialists all from different practices. That was the beauty of Nemours. You guys were they were all under the same umbrella. So just do your research with new specialists, check them out, make sure you get their reviews. When you call them, ask them, how many complex kids do you see? How many kids do you see that see 2 or more specialists? Believe me, that matters, because when it comes to referrals, when it comes to orders, you want a doctor that is familiar with writing those things. You want a doctor that's not going to be hesitant if your child needs x-rays for their lung. You just want a doctor that's well versed with all this. So do your research, and we're all in this together. Does anything change with you guys?
No, fortunately, nothing changes with us. So we're not on that end right now, but of course, down the road, when she turns 18 and then 21, and we start losing insurance and services, you know, that stuff that we have to think about down the road. But um, yeah, right now that's not something that's on our radar, thankfully.
Right.
But for those that it is, I know a lot of parents travel out of Jacksonville to go and see different specialists. Um, so I know we're going to be making some trips out of town. We already do to see some specialists, but uh, we'll be looking for some other specialists too, just because the quality that we're looking for or the knowledge and expertise level that I'm looking for as my child gets older, those change with the doctors that will accept her, since she'll have to transition into adult care. And so, it's a whole book of things to start thinking about. And I've just been trying to start some research looking around to see what is available, and trying to establish some relationships with some other doctors so that we can have some continued care as we get ready to transition and things like that.
I
But
wish it was kind of like how it is with heart. Like it's if you have a heart issue as a baby, infant, or surgery or anything,
mhm.
that pediatric cardiologist surgeon follows you even once you become an adult. Like they
Oh,
still, yes, they're still going to follow you and stuff like that. And I really wish that our I know they're pediatricians, but I'm not going to name any doctors' names or anything, but there's certain doctors that I feel can take care of
mhm.
adult special needs. I don't want to call them
Yeah,
kids. Adult special
yeah,
needs.
yeah,
That's what it is. Yeah.
yeah,
I feel there's doctors that in the pediatric realm that can go ahead and still help in the adult world as well,
yeah.
that are
So
familiar with the kids. And I know they do locally here have a transition program,
mhm,
um, that I think they do till 21, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
But yeah, it's a challenge.
yeah. So we're just getting ready for that. But for those that have to deal with these changes, just make sure you do your research and um, email, write your insurance company and Nemours to try and see if that will help with the contract negotiations. Um, and Oh, I was gonna also say too, if you're also looking for something to do during the summer or the year, there's a place called Camp Boggy Creek, and they have different sessions. Like
Okay.
for like 1 month, it might be for kids that have like Down syndrome, and then the next month, kids that have neurological
Okay.
issues, and then so they do different like different categories of special needs or medical needs, and you can apply to be able to go there. It's near Orlando, and I think it's a whole week, and they pay for
Okay.
everything, and it looks really fun. So if you're interested in something like that to do as a family, that's something that you can look into and see like when they're going to have your child's diagnosis, that they're going to be serving. Because I think for like neurological issues, it might be in October. And I've
Okay.
been going back and forth about that, but
That'd be
just
fun.
something to think about and do.
Mhm.
Um,
That's nice.
yeah.
That's nice.
So check on your summer camps if your child is, able to do summer camps and you haven't registered yet, or maybe you're looking for something for next year to prepare yourself
Right. Mhm.
so that okay, I can do this next year and make sure I get ahead of the game before they get too full. And then, keep an eye out on the school closures or, merging or things that's going on with that. And, the insurance, making sure you're staying up to date with that and emailing or talking to
Mhm.
whoever you need to talk to about that. And
Right.
just making sure that you try to take a breath, take a break this summer and
Right.
relax a little bit.
I was like,
Um, and enjoy time with your family, enjoy time to yourself. I said that I'm going to try Pilates over the summer. So I was like, this is going to be my time where I'm going to at least take one day to myself during the
mhm.
summer to, work on my health and just having time to myself.
Yes,
So I'm going to try Pilates for the summer.
you'll love it.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, just make sure you take time for yourself also too for the summer. It's not only
Yeah,
just fun for the kids and a break for them. You make sure you take a
that's
break
for
for
sure.
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to another episode of Two Moms and Some Labels. So until next time, we will see you guys then. And make sure that you watch this and you comment and you tell us, what are your summer plans? What does your summer look like? And we want to hear all about it. So until next time, we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.